I will not fail.
Yet another fantastic episode of Ultraman Omega. I really like this episode. Having the world count Omega as one of the kaijus was genuinely really cool. It does kind of give me a lot of Koga vibes, just without the police drama. But having this episode introduced to us, Ayamu, which I really do like her occupation of being pretty much a scientist, with her actually being a part, at least, of the government kind of like science division, where she actually gets to conduct some research on last week's kaiju's dead body, which is going to be really interesting. But I do love her interactions with both Kosei and Omega. Like, you can see those trio are going to be like genuinely really fun together. Like, she kind of plays the straight woman, while kind of like Kosei kind of is slightly in between, while Omega is going to kind of continue to be kind of slightly more of a hero but still slightly comedic side, which works. While I fucking love Kosei's relationship with Omega, with him not only lying to Ayamu by literally telling her, oh yeah, that's my older cousin, but also figuring out his human name pretty much on the spot, being Sorato, which I did kind of like. It's slightly of a play on words with Omega and Big. Like, there is kind of like, when you hear the Japanese version right now, there isn't a dub version of Omega, which is interesting. Like, I like the dub version of, let's say, like, Arc, primarily because like when I use the episode, I'm not being forced to download like a 30-minute video with ads, which is the only thing I dislike about like Subaru doing the YouTube releases. It's like the ads are like odd, and it's hard sometimes to edit with it, but I'm fine with it. But I do like the relationship between Kosei and Omega. Like, those two are really fun, mainly because like you can really see Omega cares about Kosei, and Kosei is kind of like comprehending of like what really Omega is going to be to him, and having him in the beginning of the episode kind of like thinking about maybe giving Omega to the government, but then having a conversation with Ayamu where pretty much she tells him, yeah, like, let's say if you would have given the government Omega, or Omega would have turned himself in, he wouldn't be able to do anything else. They would pretty much poke him around, maybe become a weapon unwillingly to the government. That's like really cool, and I love that he's kind of like the one that really keeps Omega of keeping his secret identity. He's like, don't do it here. Like, you can clearly see that he kind of understands that he's way more important and he's a living being, and he doesn't deserve to be put in a lab. Like, I really like them. Like, those two as characters work so well, and putting Ayumi in there in her position and her job is going to be super interesting, because right now how much those three, at least in the intro, like, they're the prominent ones, but I'm interested when she's going to discover that she already met Omega. Like, that's really great. Like, I love that already with like 2 episodes we got like a really fucking great grasp of our main cast. Like, genuinely, that's really great. And having the government working on the kaiju body from last week's episode, and having Ayumi help Kosei and Satoru find the kaiju that poisoned in the area was great, and it actually done a lot of world building, which, like, I don't know, like a lot of early episodes of Ultra don't really do as much. But if you think about it, with literally the intro giving us pretty much the full cast, we now know it's a 3-man unit. And that's it. It's literally one of the smallest casts in Ultra in the last couple of years. Like, I'm thinking about like a cast that was smaller, like maybe Taiga, but like this is if we don't count the Tri Squad. But it's like, yeah, that's so interesting that it's like we kind of came back, we kind of in this kind of interesting position of like, okay, we have just 3 people. We don't have any side cast, we don't have any side characters, we don't have a captain, we don't have a vice captain, we don't even have a defense team. This is such a different and so kind of like refreshing Ultra show and a take on it. It's not a new one, but it still is a great take that hasn't been done in a long time. Like, genuinely, this was amazing. But I am interested in one thing, and that is why Omega's color timer started blinking, almost like it was giving him kind of like a nudge of like, hey, use your beam and not your slugger, which, like, I know of course they did yell out, hey, don't use the slugger, that's poisoning the rest of the area even more. But it's like, oh, why, how does something contacts Omega with the color timer? Like, that's genuinely interesting. Maybe it's like semi-connected to the kaiju bodies that Omega has that are giving him pretty much his extra armors. That's really interesting, to be honest. Like, yeah, like, overall, this was a fantastic episode. Like, everything has this episode done was great. It given us great world building, great like introduction to a new character, while also continuing to develop the relationship between our pretty much 2 male protagonists. Great monster fight. How much the monster did, the kaiju of the week did look like a goober, but hey, sometimes Ultra kaijus should look like goobers. Also, having like the second episode pretty much debut the beam is something that Ultra doesn't do as much. How much? Yeah, you could say that the first episode did use the beam. I don't count that. I don't know. It was the opening fight, it was purely CG, so it's like, it doesn't count. But yeah, overall, this episode was really great. This one gets an A+. Yeah, like, right now, the only thing that I can really otherwise say that debuted in this episode was the opening, which I do like. They're really hammering home the pretty much silhouettes in the intro, which like a lot of like Showa Ultra used, which I do like. It is something that we are kind of going in and out of it. Like, you can say that like both Trigger and Decker couldn't really use it because they were new gen Tiga and Dyna, which makes sense, they never used the silhouettes. Blazer used it. Arc kind of never really used the silhouettes, it kind of done a title screen and that's really it. So kind of coming back to the silhouettes is cool, but also like doing and using the silhouettes in the opening is something that we haven't gotten in probably years. Like, Tiga never really used the silhouettes in its intro, and Gaia never. I don't remember if Neos did, I don't remember Cosmos, Nexus no. Max, yes. I think it used at least the silhouette of Max. I'm not sure about the rest of the kaijus. I remember it could be Max or Mebius that used actually the silhouettes. No, it was Mebius. Mebius used the silhouettes of the kaijus in the title screen. And from there on, like, Ginga never. I don't remember about Ginga S. X never. Orb did, but again, never in the intro. So if we're talking about pure intros, I think the last one that used it in the intro was, you could kind of say, Powered. So it's been more than 30 years. So it is good. The opening song is kind of meh. It kind of sounds like the ending song, which Mid Ryan is fucking not keeping up with, like, oh my god, she's just keep turning out bangers with Ultra's. Like, I just want her to just make the opening. That ending song was great. So, what you thought about Ultraman Omega? Episode number 2, comment below, let me know. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please, if you enjoyed it, smash that like button. If you want to help the channel to grow, hey, I have 2 videos that you might love, and that is my Why Do I Love Samurai Sentai Shinkenger and the Legacy of Ultraman great video. It would also help if you smash that subscribe button. Don't forget, you're the only one that can prevent forest fires. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.